Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Wednesday, July 17, 2012. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts. I'm going to start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. What you're going to see here is that the futures are catching a big bid to the upside after the Ben Bernanke comments were just released. He will be appearing, the Fed chairman will be appearing in front of Congress today in the semi-annual Humphrey Hawkins testimony. This is where Congress will ask the chairman about the economy. They'll also ask him about, hopefully, about quantitative easing. Hopefully, they'll ask him about a host of other things regarding all the money printing that has taken place over the past 4 years. Right now, when Ben Bernanke's statements were released, he said that he's going to stay the course as far as bond purchases go. And then later on in a few other statements, he said if we need to taper, we will. If we need to increase, we will. So he's playing basically all sides of the fence. But right now, the market from those statements is reacting positive. You can see here the market, or the S&P 500 E-mini futures, were flat ahead of his statement. And then, boom, you got a big jolt, big jump up. Now, here's the negative, if there is one, about this. One, you got the dollar-yen chart selling off. Dollar-yen is starting to come down. As you know, if the carry trade unwinds, this is not a positive for the stock market. And you got a nice big sell-off here in dollar-yen. This also comes as the U.S. dollar index is selling off as well. So, again, dollar is getting weak. That tells us gold should be higher. Let's take a look at GLD. And look at the pop in GLD after that statement. GLD is catching a pretty sharp bid to the upside. Now trading at around 125.30 on the GLD. Closed at 124.89. So you're seeing a decent pop there in the GLD this morning after the Ben Bernanke comments. We're also seeing gold move from negative spot gold to positive. Spot gold is now up by about $6 on the session to around $12.96 and change. The 10-year bond yield is still holding steady. That's a little bit of a surprise. 10-year bond yield sitting at around 2.55%. When we take a look at the oil markets this morning, what you're going to see here is that oil is slightly lower. Oil's down about 22 cents. Here's the USO, which is a good proxy for oil, trading around 37.47. So the oil market is stalling out a little bit here today, but you see the dollar is getting hammered. Japanese yen, dollar-yen chart, which was very strong before the opening bell, really starting to plunge. That could also hurt Nikkei futures. So again, anybody trading Nikkei futures, which do trade around the clock, watch for Nikkei futures to start to tumble as well, as they trade right with this chart. Let's get into a few other things. Earnings last night, Yahoo. Not sure it's really a big deal. The stock will have a ton of resistance around $28 if it even gets up there. I'm not sure it will do that, but the market is reacting slightly positive to the news, but I don't think there's a whole lot of upside here. Bank of America was the big financial stock that reported earnings today. Stock's holding steady, sitting at around 1407, closed at 1392. I guess it has some big resistance around 1430, 1429. Watch for resistance up there. I wouldn't short it. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't do anything with it. They beat the top line number, but revenue was in line. And these guys get free money. I mean, after all, if you think about it, the Enron accounting that the banks use these days is somewhat of a joke. But in any case, we care about the market's reaction. That's what will make us money ultimately. We do have about, I believe, 4 gap plays this morning. They'll be posted up in the chat room at 9 a.m. We did score on a nice gap play yesterday with Coca-Cola, and hopefully we'll get another one today. We try to at least capture 1 gap play a day. That is normally the goal, and so far so good. We've been pretty much on pace to do that. Not every day, but just about when the opportunities present themselves, we try to capture a morning gap play. This way you put some money in the bank real quick each and every day. You have some earnings out of CSX, which is a major railroad stock. Stock closed yesterday at $24.64. Today it's trading at $24.85. You can see it caught a big spike after the earnings, but has come in quite a bit. So there's not a lot there. This one will have resistance around $25.45 if it did get back up there. But I don't really see the stock getting through that resistance point at this time. So we'll have to see how that plays out going forward. But again, you have a lot of earnings coming out in this market, and we'll see how it plays out. A little while ago, I believe we also had some economic data regarding June housing starts. I believe June housing starts really plummeted. So again, we should take note of that. But I believe June housing starts really came down quite a bit, and it may be one of the bigger drops. But June housing starts really plunged. This could affect stocks like Lennar and Toll Brothers. Right now, I don't see any ill effect right there, but housing starts were down in the month of June, so we want to be aware. We want to be aware of that, and we'll have to see how it all plays out going forward. The big news today, as I said earlier, will be the Ben Bernanke testimony, and we'll have to just wait and see exactly how this all shakes out going forward. But right now, when I look at this market, the Ben Bernanke testimony is probably everything that the market is waiting for. Again, markets are getting a little bit of a pop ahead of his comments, and that is a little bit of a positive, at least before the opening bell. He released his statement today at 8:30 this morning, which is a little bit unusual, but it did cause a spike in the market. And, by far, people talk about the president, but this Ben Bernanke is by far the most powerful man on the planet at this moment in time. Keep an eye on the dollar-yen chart. Very, very important. That chart is starting to plunge a little bit lower. It's a big reversal from the highs. So again, if that goes lower, I think ultimately that will put pressure on the market. We have to think how much more upside can be in the cards, and we'll have to wait and see exactly what Ben Bernanke has to say in front of Congress. He has a tendency to flip-flop a little bit, and we'll see if he turns about face or if he comes out and just keeps saying we're just printing. So market wants more printing. Any signs that printing will come to an end will ultimately be a negative. All right, we're going to leave it here, short and sweet. Again, the gap plays will be posted in the chat room at 9 a.m. I want to wish you all a great trading day, and we will see you on the charts a little bit later today. Take care, everybody.